Hey, okay, good. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Maurilius. Okay. Can everybody hear me? Oh my gosh, I can't believe I was talking this whole time and the volume was down. I'm dead. Okay. Let me know, Maurilius, if you can hear me. That will be wonderful. Um, okay, good, 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 good. Oh my goodness. Please, 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 do not hesitate to tell me if you can't hear me. Crazy. Okay, good. Yeah, so before I get into today's little lesson, I wanted to put a spotlight on Rhoda Bolton. So she did a design that's inspired by my embroidery brushes yesterday. And it was really fun to pull these embroidery brushes out. Hey, gotta leave. Okay, good, good, good. So she made this gorgeous creation. So I wanted to put a little spotlight on it. And yeah, so we have like the whole mixed media, mixing embroidery, bringing it into Photoshop, having some different techniques and everything, adding the bevel and emboss, the little drop shadow. And what I loved is that she used like rather than taking the embroidery brush and drawing all of these out, what you can do is, create your little motif with your embroidery brush and then like, for example, this leaf, and then you can take that leaf motif and then drop it in and create an art brush in Illustrator and then, save yourself tons of time. So I love that you guys have been picking up on some of the little, tips and tricks and everything that that I'm sharing. And I love that, like you guys always put your own unique spin on it. So she's got some of the metallic embroidery brushes in the background, creating this motif. She's got some of the gold here. I think she put all of her things that she used. So super gorgeous. Some wet paint, some little tendrils with some wet paint brushes. So it really like encaptured the mixed media, the whole vibe, and using the autumn color palette. So that's super cool. And I'll put the link down below later, but like you can join our insiders group and share your work. So it's super fun. So let's get into it today. So this is the inspiration that I have from Unsplash. And I was like, this is gorgeous. I think I'm gonna just, see what I can do with this, take some inspiration. And I love to try to think of like how easy I can do it. So I'm just gonna kind of show you how I created these motifs, and then I might continue on into the other ones. And then once you have these, these motifs and everything, one thing that we can all do that I've been, like talking about is taking advantage of those Illustrator image brushes. So we can create a motif like this, drop it into Illustrator, create an art brush, and then we don't have to redraw it a bunch of times. So we can, like use it as a brush. So that's something that, especially when you're doing illustrations and stuff, you can do that and save yourself a lot of time. And then after we create these motifs, then, you can create like, you can put them together and create a repeating pattern or use them for a social media graphic or a background, what have you. So I'm going to get started with oh, and I'll just real quick, so that I can show you guys, because about using the image art brushes. I'm just going to make a real quick sort of demo of that just to give you an idea what I was talking about. So I created this little pine tree, sort of whatever it is. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to option drag my group. I have it in a group. So I just want to cut this and paste this into Illustrator. So I'm going to drag my group holding down the option key. So that's duplicating it essentially. And then I'm going to right click and I'm going to merge the group. So I just want to make it a raster. So now holding the command key down and clicking on this little icon in my layer, that will select everything on that layer. And maybe on a PC it's control. So I'm gonna just select everything on that layer and cut. And as you can see, you might see a little bit of ghosting right there, which that's fine, not a big deal. So I just cut that from my Photoshop file. And then I can just paste it here into Illustrator. And this is just an example of like maybe an idea that I was going to play with these sort of botanical elements and everything. So I just dropped that into Illustrator, and let me move this out of the way here. So dropped that into Illustrator. Brushes, it's better if you turn it this way for the brush, so because that's the direction brushes naturally go. So I drop that into Illustrator, and then I can just drop it into my brush panel, create an art brush, not a scatter brush, drop it in my brush panel, create an art brush, click OK, and then I can either have scale proportionally or stretch to fit stroke length. So I'll click OK. And then now it's a brush, and now I can take that brush and I can go like this and make my life so much easier. So Photoshop and Illustrator can really, you know, work wonders together. And then I can just copy that and then paste it back into Photoshop and everything. So don't be sleeping on the image brushes because they save you lots of time. And here's a little example. I was playing with the idea of maybe doing like a monogram, some kind of like wintry fall sort of monogram. So we'll get into that later. But let's go back to the my document here. And I'm just going to show you what brushes that I use to create these nice simple motifs. And they're abstract. So there's like, you know, no learning curve. It's not like you have to have any special drawing ability to do these. So let's see what I started off with. I'm going to pull back the layers on this. Yeah, on this drawing here. So, okay. So it looks like I started with a modern impressionist brush. And let me just set this over here. So let me find what brush I used really quick. Okay. I think it was, hold on, I think it was like 80 something, but I'm going to find out real quick. I think it's 89. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so that's brush 89 from the Modern Impressionist brush collection. And this is it blends the colors like quite subtly, but you know, it's using my multicolor brush technique. And if you're not familiar with it, down below in the description, I have got the foundation tutorial for this multicolor brush technique that I use all the time. So I like this. I'm going to use this to kind of create the base layer right now. So let's just look at how I did it here. I've got the center and I've got all these little like things. Okay, so I'm just going to pull that back here. Okay, so now I'm going to take, oh, and I have to load a color. I'm going to show you. So a lot of you guys are familiar with this, but you can sample images or sample colors from the image. So what I do is I took my selection tool and I just went over here somewhere inside this area because I wanted to get a number of the different colors. And you can just make a small selection and hit Command M, or that's a keyboard shortcut I made. If you don't have that, I think it's edit define pattern. So I have a keyboard shortcut because I sample from images all the time. So what I did was I made two different samples, or no, I think I just did one. So I just sampled somewhere in there, and we're sampling those colors straight from the image, going to make it super easy on ourselves here. And oh, hey, Sydney, super happy to see you. We are just getting started. Okay, so I've sampled the color from the image and I've got a nice sort of base, and we're saving ourselves time because we're using the multicolored brush technique. So now I'm going to take this brush, Modern Impressionist brush 89, way down in size. So I'm using my left bracket, taking it to about like 45 size. And this is pressure sensitive as well. So I'm just going to make, like we see here, just kind of make some kind of a little, it's like the center part. And then I'll just refer back to my image here. So I'll just, you know, not going to worry too perfect. that it's gorgeous. And if you have a little bit of the color banding, we're not even going to worry because it's going to be, we're going to add some layers on top of it. So kind of making the big ones, and then, you know, you can add some little marks because it's got like, a lot of these ones are kind of going up. So I'm just doing kind of like that. Hopefully my other stuff is not too distracting. Let's see here. So I'm just making something. And I love doing abstract motifs, number one, because I can't really draw. So, you know. And then also because if I wanted it to look like a photo or be super realistic, I would just cut it out of the thing, you know? So I like feeling that, I like feeling that it's a drawing, you know, or an illustration. I like finding ways to abstractify it. I don't know if that's a word. Oh, hey, oh yeah, oh, you have to tell me your first name. I can't call you, oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Um, so yeah, so it looks cool. We're just gonna use this as like a general inspiration. Not gonna worry about it being too perfect, but we're just letting that brush do all the work here, that Photoshop brush. And we've got, you know, a nice multicolor sort of vibe. We're feeling it. It's cool. So let's set this over here. So we're getting the vibe. It's feeling good, but you know, we want to add a little bit extra. So what did I do next? All right, so now I wanted to add a little texture. So I'm going to put a layer underneath this, okay? So I've got a blank layer underneath my main layer. And I grabbed brush 90. So sometimes I'll just grab brushes wherever I've got a brush here. Oh, sometimes I'm lazy and I just look around, but brush 90 is cool. And here I have it saved over my tool preset. So it's just a little rough sort of impressionist vibe here. And it looks like, oh yeah, I didn't sample a color from the image. I actually grabbed one of my boho neutral color palettes. So I grabbed, which one this is? If I hover and hold still, okay. So I grabbed boho neutral 8 because it was handy, and the boho neutrals really, these color palettes really match that. And so then what I did was, hold on, let me move these out of the way a little bit. And let's move this here. Let's move this here. And let's add this. So here you can see what I've already like applied. So underneath the one that I'm just drawing, I just added some strokes kind of behind the strokes that I already made using, and I could have, you know, selected some color from my image, but I know that this like really matches my boho neutral color palette, so I just grabbed one of those. And just to add a little texture and a little, you know, movement, texture, a little extra visual interest. It makes it feel more, a little bit more, I don't know, artistic, and all that. Oh, hey, super happy to see you, Jetta. I'm like, yay. I'm trying to do the earlier ones as well. I'm trying to catch more people. You know, I have so many people in different time zones, and so I'm trying different times. And I also sent out a poll to my newsletter friends to see which times people like to follow the streaming at. So that just added a little bit of texture, a little bit of visual interest, and we're feeling it. It's cool. And so then the last things that I did to create this motif was I added, on top, I added just my one color brush, which, you know, I almost never do. Not really into the one color brushes, but I grabbed my brushwork brush and just added a little bit of brush strokes so that you really kind of feel that a little bit. And it adds just a little bit of structure. So I'm going to make a new layer above, and I'll start with the dark brush strokes. So I've got brushwork brush number 23, and I took the size way down. Oh, Mehmet, super happy to see you joining my live stream. What? Uh, so happy. Okay, so let's grab brushwork brush 23, And we're taking it way down because we want to add some like a little bit of structure and everything. And so for the first one, I'm going to add the dark color. So I'm going to click option and just select this brown that I have selected before. And let's see here. So I'm just using, this is a pressure sensitive brush. So I'm just going to use super light brush stroke, kind of, you know, play around with it a little bit. So it gives that like just a tiny bit of structure, which I think it kind of needs because it was a little bit like, just a little bit soft, you know? So we can just throw some stuff in here and add just a wee bit of little touches, and it just, you know, I think it feels good. Let's see. Saw the stream. Yes, of course you had to drop by. Mehmet is an amazing creator. I need to have you on my live stream, Mehmet, and you can show us something cool. That would be nice. It's funny, some of us that were, we sell stuff on Creative Market, we have a Slack chat, and oh my gosh, seriously, it's like one of the only things that keeps me sane. It's really nice to have people that do the same kind of thing that you do, and you can, you know, talk about the industry, what have you. P.S. It's kind of a disaster, but we're all still trying to like, you know, do our thing. And thankfully I do like you know, the live streams and teaching and everything, and I really enjoy that. So I think that that's kind of helped me, you know, keep paying my bills. It's crazy. Oh my gosh, I try to make you laugh, Mehmet. Anyway, so we added the brown, the darker color, so that gives us a little bit of structure in our thing. And then now I'm going to add just a little bit of light. And again, this is the brushwork brush, one color brush. So I'm going to option select, and before I selected color from this image, but I'm just a bit lazy now. So I'm going to just to select a light. And so then I'm just going to add some highlights in here. And you just really feel the, you know, feel it's an illustration, feel it's a bit abstract. But I like that it gets the vibe of the, I don't know, what is it? That looks like a bleached pine tree or something, but because the color's quite light. But anyway, so we're vibing with it. We're good. So just add some little strokes here. And if any of you guys have any questions or whatever, just shout them out. So we're just going to call that a day. That's done. And now I'm going to try to be organized with my Photoshop file. So I'm going to take my layers that I just drew, Command G, pop them into a group, and there we go. And so now we have that. And like I showed before, we can just drop that into Illustrator, create an art brush out of it, and save ourselves loads of time. Loving it. So let's get into the next elements. And these ones are, I'm really enjoying them. So I think I'm going to start next with the these leaves that I created here. And these ones were really easy, but I like how they turned out. I am 100% feeling that. And yeah, so let me just set this over to the side. Now, one thing, I just thought these shapes were just gorgeous. So what I did was I used my lasso tool to go around the shape and, you know, just do it that way. But, you know, you could also like use a simple brush and mask out a shape. But I'm not worried about it being really smooth or anything. So I'm going to use my lasso tool on this. And I am going to just sort of follow this leaf shape, which I think is really unique. And it's cool. And so, yeah. And I want this to have a real sort of handmade look. So that's why I'm not worried if things are a bit rough or whatever. Okay, hold on. I hope I didn't mess it up there. Okay, oh, that's good. All right, so we've got our selection. I'm filling it. And now I think I will just take my paint brush or my paint bucket. I'm going to select one of the grays from this leaf, and I'm going to make a new layer above my background layer and then just fill that in. So now I can use this as a clipping mask. So I'm just going to drag this over to my dock over here. All right, and now let's put this in its own area. Trying to keep the Photoshop file clean is a struggle for real. All right, so now we've got our clipping mask, and I'm going to make a new layer above that, create a clipping mask, holding down my, what is it, Option? Yeah, Option key or Alt if you're on a PC. And then what I always do when I'm making like a clipping mask group is a lot of times I will hold down Option, create a clipping mask, and then just above my base layer, I'll make a couple layers in between that so they're automatically clipping masks, and that just saves me a little bit of time. And so let's see what brushes that I used. Right now it's a little bit of I just did this morning, so I can't really remember, but we're gonna see here what we got. Let's take that back. So I've got my same, let's see here, what did I do? Yeah. Okay, so I'm thinking I saved it somewhere. Group 3, hold on. Art, no. Oh, which brush? Artistic Autumn 22? No. You know what? I think I used a different brush, and I'm thinking that I didn't save it. So let me just go through my tool presets, see what yeah, this is the brush. Okay. I know which one it is. Okay. So sometimes it's fun to like, I'll try brushes that I wouldn't have suspected. So I'm using my multicolor brush technique, but I'm using a brush called Rough 6 from my Celestial Goldmine Layer Styles collection. And I am just going to show you real quick this brush. So I just thought it was quite, I love that stippling pattern. And if you look over here, it felt like the same kind of vibe of those leaves over there. So I thought that would be really cool. I was just experimenting. Sometimes you have like, you'll be surprised, you know, which I'll use some random brush and it looks cool. So we're using the pattern stamp multicolor technique, and we're using this Rough 6 brush from my Celestial Goldmine collection. And I sampled my color for this brush stroke, excuse me, from the image. So let me just go over here, and I forget exactly where I sampled it from, but I just took my selection tool and just, you know, kind of like went over here somewhere on the leaf and hit, I went edit, define pattern, which I save as a keyboard shortcut because I do it all the time. So mine is Command M, and then I'll click OK. And so then I'll just, let's go over here, go above my clipping mask. And so we're using pattern stamp multicolor brush, and it's Rough 6. So now I'm just going to go over that clipping mask, and we've got that gorgeous leaf shape. I think it's really cool. Very subtle. And if you have a spot, like there's a dark spot that I don't like, although there is dark spots on there, you can just, you know, brush over it until, you know, you have it how you like. But I think that it looks cool. It's very subtle and it's so wintry. And what I might do is, it looks like it's like really lighter at the bottom. So what I might do is take a one color brush, take my regular brush tool, and then take that Rough 6 and maybe, well, let me put white here. Maybe add a like, oh, that looks kind of cool. But I'm going to add it on its own layer and maybe take the opacity down and just add, like, make it a little bit lighter on some spots. So I don't know. It's cool because it's kind of done like that. It kind of fades out at the bottom as well on the other one. So we can just have a little fun with that, or maybe just have the opacity up and just adds a little bit of, kind of looks like it has snow on it. I think that's kind of cool. Maybe we won't use 100% white. Maybe we'll just do like a light gray. So just adding some lightness there. Whatever, good enough. See it, I'm using Photoshop. So maybe not. Maybe we're not feeling that. So now what I did to finish off that leaf motif is I just used the brushwork brush and added some little strokes in there. So like, let me go to my demo one here. And yeah, so I've got 2 demo leaves that I did already. Let me just get on a new layer. It's always good to, if you're doing something like this using different brushes, it's good to put, you know, each brush stroke on its own layer and work non-destructively. So that can be quite nice. And let's just option click. I'm going to sample this like darker gray. So I just drew some lines. This is not too much skill level, but just to feel like kind of a spine, I guess it's called, in the middle of the leaf. So, and I've got my brush size down to about 35, so it's pretty small. And whatever, so that's good enough. So I've got a little bit of a dark, and then now I'm going to take like white and do the same kind of thing. So we're just getting a little feel for it, you know, add a little, some lines. And it's just artistic, you know, like this is by no means anything realistic, but that's the kind of stuff I love to do. And if you guys have been following me for a while, it's because I don't really like to realistic draw. I just love to like do things easy and fast and make pretty things. And I think it's just, yeah, to me it's more creative. So, okay. So we've got our sample leaf. I'm going to put them into a group. We'll set that leaf off to the side. And looks like I've got a random spot here. What is that? Drive me crazy here. Oh yeah. I can see a little spot. I'm going to cut that. Okay, so there we've got the leaves. We are cool with them. And now we were going to make the pine cones. And this one, I think these ones are quite fun. I think they're a bit really stylized, which I like. You know, and I like this, all these elements kind of have a, I don't know, kind of a collage sort of. I think that they work well together. You know, I did a little bit different. I don't use the same brush strokes and everything, but when we put them together, I think they're going to be really cool. So let's just set these for some like, okay, so I can do side by side here. All right, so let's get into the pine cones, our very loose interpretation of a pine cone, which I think is fun. Okay, so let me keep this file organized. I'll make a new little group. So let me make a new layer. That's going to be my base layer. And then I'm going to, yeah, make a new layer. All right. For this one, I could have drawn it out with a simple brush, but I'm actually going to take my lasso tool. Hey, Benu, nice to see you. And I'm just going to make a very rough sort of egg pineapple pine cone shape. So I'll just go like this. I'm not going to worry that it's perfect because I like the uneven sort of feeling. And one thing that I do need to do is I need to sample some colors from these pine cones. So I'm going to go over to my rectangular marquee tool, and I just pulled a square over my pine cone and went to edit define pattern, and I'll click OK. And then I wanted one color blend that's a bit lighter, and then I wanted one color blend that's a bit darker. So then I went into like this area. So if we squeeze in there, and I hit edit define pattern, and now we've got a darker. So we've got a lighter blend and a darker blend, and then we can mix those together for something cool. So let's deselect, go over here. This one's a little bit skinny, our little skinny pine cone. Maybe I should make it a little fatter. Okay, wait, let me find which layer I'm meant to be on. Okay, let's deselect that. Let's make it a little more eggy. And I use a couple different brushes on here, and it was really fun. I love getting some brushes that are a little bit that you wouldn't suspect. So for one of them, I think I used my Tool Couture brushes. And what is this going on? Oh, I grabbed the wrong. So let me get one of my pinecone color blends that I've just created. So I'll just get this. And with this tool brush, it creates those cool like sort of strata in the pine cone, which I think is really fun. And for each brush, I have a B version, which has like the brush stroke a little bit more spaced out. And so like if I go this brush, this is a tool inspired brush. I think these are really fun. And it feels also, it can kind of feel like having like a clip art, or not a clip art, but you know, like if you paint, gosh, there's one illustrator that does a lot of that. You know, she paints some like colors and then cuts them out. So I think it really can get that kind of feel. So I just had some fun with the Tool Couture brushes and kind of just layered them on there. And, you know, you can just keep going over it until you find something that you like. I might use 3B. So there we've got the lighter blend, and then I'll just maybe make a new layer, create a clipping mask, and then I'll grab my darker color blend and maybe use a different one of these B brushes that's more spaced out, and we'll add a little bit of dark inside there, you know. So we got that little bit of that strata and those kind of, you know, like pine cone sort of effects. And then we're going to cut them out. So it's very stylized. It's not perfect, whatever. I could probably do it better, but and I might pop into my Couture fiber brushes. This is fiber brush 17, and maybe put a couple of those in there. And I think that looks cool. It's good enough. You know, we're going with it. So I'm going to deselect that. And let's see here. So now I'm going to, on my original layer, I'm going to create a, what am I going to do? Actually, which brush tool I used? Brushed. Let me see. Okay, I think I just grabbed one of my brushwork brushes, and I'm wanting to say it's probably brush 23 that I just used. I'm not 100% sure. So let me just go into one of my original ones, see if I made a note of the brush that I used. I did not. So what I'm going to do, I remember where this is, so I'm just going to Option and click the clipping mask and just hide it. And then I'm just going to get my one color brush, and I think this is like one of my brushwork brushes. And so then I just painted it in. And there we kind of have that that sort of pinecone effect. Very abstract, very abstract. So, but, and I'm not sure 100%, you know, you can grab whichever brush you want, but I think this is one of my brushwork brushes because it has this lovely texture and that rough edge and everything. So I'm just going to go with that. It's cool enough. And then I just created like 3 different ones and used different brushes. For all of these, I used the Couture Fiber and the Tool Couture, which I think were really fun because a lot of those brushes created those really cool little sort of patterns. And then underneath this sort of pine cone, we're going to call it, then I used a brushwork brush. Let's just say it's 23. And I'm going to add like a dark color. Let's make it a bit bigger. And I kind of just created that sort of center sort of thing, and then created a little, what do you call it? Just a little bottom part of it. I don't know. So that you get the idea. So I'm just going to group those. And now we have our pinecone motifs. And, you know, they're cool. I like how everything's turning out. And maybe just to end, my last motif is maybe I'll do something like this. By the way, I totally did something a bit similar to this in one of my recent ones. But yeah, let's just take this as inspiration. And we're going to keep that consistency. So I'm going to use like for this, I'm going to start off with kind of sketching out where I want the stem to be. So I'm going to option, and I'm just going to select one color from this sort of stem and just kind of create a little path of that stem and maybe some little kind of, we'll kind of try to reuse some of the brush strokes so that way, you know, has that kind of consistency. And now what I might do is underneath that layer, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I might take my artistic, or no, it is the brush number 90. No, oh, not that. Hold on. Yeah, 90 from the Modern Impressionist collection. And I don't want to take the time to like sample from that element. So I might scroll up into my boho neutrals because I know that I've got some really good neutral blends. And so I'm going to grab one of these gray brown neutral blends and maybe add sort of some strokes behind this. And I'm liking that. So we're getting that sort of feel. And adds just a little bit more, yeah, like heft to that branch. So I'm digging that right now. And what else? So also above it, maybe I'm gonna make a new layer and then take my my brushwork, brush 23 again, and I'm gonna sample like a light color from this sort of, I don't know what you call those, and maybe add some kind of highlights here. So it's really kind of feeling in touch with some of the other things that we've been drawing. So there we've got a nice little stem to get us started. And then now I'm going to make a new layer. Now for this, I will sample some colors from this sort of area. So maybe I'm just going to select right in here. I'm going to hit Command M, click OK, and then maybe get a darker one. So take a selection, edit define pattern, click OK. And now let's make some of those nice little ball sort of things. So let's look into my, I want to go with Artistic Autumn 23, even though I keep going with that a lot because it's really soft and it really matches that, that texture. So I'm just going to do it. Who cares? Whatever. I did something similar before, but with the tutorial the other day. And let me take those colors that I've just sampled. So let's just go here. And maybe some of them are below the stick sort of thing. And like that. Okay. That's okay. And then maybe we'll make some above. So let's take maybe the size down and then just go like that. So it's pretty okay. We are, yeah, we're just gonna go with that. I think that's kind of nice. Maybe what I'll do is I'll add a little texture. It feels like it wants a little texture on there. So maybe I'm going to make a new layer above the layer that I just did on top. And let's just see. Yeah. I'm going to grab Artistic Autumn brush number 26. And where is that layer? Okay, it's just these three. And maybe just add some, yeah, spots of, using maybe the same color palette. Yeah. Just barely touch, make a little dot on on the next layer above it just to add a little bit of texture. And I can do that the same thing with that layer on the background. So I'll make a new layer above it, create a clipping mask, and then just add a little bit, just a touch of that brush, and it adds just a little bit of texture. So I'm happy with that. Got all these elements. Let's see what we can do with them. Let me group that. And what I was thinking to do, like now you have all these elements. You could like merge them. You could do a lot of different things. So after my live stream today, I'm going to have the source file. I am a bit like behind on attaching my demo PSDs to my live streams for my subscribers, but I'm going to be doing that. So there's going to be a lot of the stuff for the people that are my subscribers. And I will love to see how you remix it or what you can do with this. So take these, you can take these elements and, you know, like maybe you want to make a pattern out of it, like a seamless pattern. Maybe you want to create, you know, a social media graphic. Maybe you want to make a template for Adobe Express or Canva. So you can use these elements in a lot of different ways. And I'm going to pop back into Illustrator really quick. And so what I'll do is I'll turn all of these into like an art brush really fast. And then maybe we'll turn them into like, what do you call it? A monogram. So maybe we can turn this into like a wintry monogram real quick. So if you want to hang out, do that. What I did with this this letter E, because I was thinking about having this gold monogram and then accenting this monogram with these elements. What I was thinking to do was maybe, so this is a 24 karat gold layer style. This is my 24 karat gold collection, one of the layer styles there. But what I did was I used one of my overlays at color add-on style. So I desaturated it, and then also I changed the color a little bit. So this is the gold. This is the gold desaturated, but I also added an additional color overlay with the blend mode set to color, because that way I could pick a color that's a bit like warm, like one of the colors from my design, and I can take the opacity down, but now it gives it, now it matches the tone of this sort of winter thing a little bit better. Hey Fatima, glad to see you. So let's just pop those, these elements over into Illustrator and see what we can come up with. So what I'm going to do is duplicate the groups, merge the groups, Command select. So I'm going to cut that. Let's paste it into Illustrator. Oh, looks like this one has got something else on that layer. So let's just go back to my Photoshop. Okay, hold on one second. All right, deselect. Looks like there's something hiding out on that layer, and I don't really want it to mess up my brush. So I'm going to cut that. Okay, so if you want to select everything on the layer, you can hit Command and click on the layer icon there, hit cut. So let's hide that. Go over to Illustrator, paste it. Let's just, and the brush strokes typically go from like left to right. So I'm just, and let's see here. Let's take another one, duplicate that group, merge that group, and let's see here. I'm gonna hit Command T, okay. Command, click on the layer, cut it. All right, let's paste it on Illustrator, right click. Cancel. Okay, so I'm just gonna lay out all these things to create the brushes. And I'm not gonna do all of them because I don't wanna like make the tutorial too long. So let's take this group. Let's duplicate it. Oh gosh, I hope that the merge group Let me know if the internet is bad because I can hear them doing construction down below. So yesterday the internet got bad, so I'm curious. So please tell me if it gets bad. All right, we're just pasting these to make some nice art brushes. Ah, stop it. Some art brushes in Illustrator. So let's duplicate that group, merge the group, Command click, cut, and go here, paste, right click. Let's make it straight-ish. Yeah, okay. Oh, I'm reloading my page. Okay. Yeah, please tell me if there's any bad connection. That would be terrible. Okay, so now we're going to make these into some art brushes. So let me just copy this, paste this down here. Checking my, okay. Oh, checking my stream. Hopefully it's not terrible. But yeah, put a comment if I have a bad stream right now. These people are gonna kill me. Doing construction in my building. Okay, so now I'm just dragging them into the document and creating an art brush. And so I'm gonna have scale proportionately. I think that's a good way to do it. Art brush, scale proportionately. And okay, same thing, create an art brush. Okay, scale proportionately. And let's do the same thing. Art brush, scale proportionately. Okay. All right, so let's zoom in here. Salman. Okay, good. I got another comment, so at least I know that I'm not the internet connection is not totally gone out, but I suspicion that, oh gosh, I suspicion that my stream is not getting great. So I'm gonna just try to wrap it up here real fast. And okay. Okay, so let me get my paintbrush tool in Illustrator. And now I'm just going to, let's see here. I can play around with making some brush strokes and turning those elements into a brush. And it's fun because that way you can go different directions. You can put a curve on it, all that kind of good stuff. So you can like do like that. I'm not going to worry about it being perfect. Let's see here. This might be a little over the top here. Fatima, hey, welcome to stream. Okay, Salman. So I'm just kind of playing with, you know, creating some strokes. Hopefully I'm still streaming. It's crazy. What time is it? It's already 2:24. Okay, no, I think my streams are going okay. I wonder if I should put this like in front of these things. Object, arrange, bring to front. So it's kind of cool. You can do some, I don't know which one I like. Yeah, I feel like, let's bring these into Photoshop and see how it looks. I think it could be nice though. So I'm just copying and pasting into Photoshop. So I'm just going to, my workspace is like so messy, I don't care. But I like to see everything kind of together to get the vibe. Okay, so let's paste it as a smart object. And then we can add like a little bit of, maybe you could add a little bit of a drop shadow, perhaps. Drop shadow. I save drop shadows in my Photoshop so that I have them handy, and then I can just like adjust them if I need to. Maybe take the distance just a little bit more. Um, okay, Marilius, thanks so much. Thanks for letting me know about my stream. It's when they're doing the construction downstairs, I can hear it. It's crazy. I hate it, but I'm glad it's not too bad. But that looks quite nice. You can make some really nice like monogram things like this. And what's cool is like you could even add some brush strokes in there. So I could take like some impressionist, like maybe I want to do an impressionist brush stroke in between that floral design and then the letter. So maybe I want to take like my pattern stamp tool and maybe grab like, let's grab like Modern Impressionist 1. And you know, you can maybe put that below the, maybe behind the letter, but you know, you can build it up there and have a little bit of fun. So I think that's quite cool. Maybe put it behind the E. So yeah, we can do a lot of different things. Let me just copy, and I know that the stream is probably messing up because of the construction downstairs, but I'm just going to copy and paste a few more. And then maybe I'll tomorrow I'll save my or show you guys my final arrangement on my live stream. But let's see here. So you know, you can put some leaves that we just made. Let's see here. I can copy the layer style from the one that I just, the drop shadow, copy that layer style, put it on the leaf. I can paste that layer style. So we could add like, make a really cool sort of fall motif. Or you can also take these and turn it into a pattern if you're a pattern designer. Smart object, always be saving them as a smart object. Let's see here, let's right click, paste layer style. Okay, well, at least I know that from now on I'm going to, oh, thank you so much, Mehmet. At least I know from now on I'm going to live stream on my own flipping hotspot because I cannot, what do you call it? I cannot predict when those guys are going to be doing the construction downstairs. And it's one of those constructions where, like, I don't know, you just hear this like buzzing, like, and it's just so annoying. Oh my gosh, I can't with them. But that's 2 days in a row that it has messed up my live stream, so I am not really having it. But they have the right to do construction, so what can you do? Kill me now? No, I'm just kidding. Oh, thank you so much, Jetta. I'm glad that you like, I like it today. I think it's very, it could go from fall into winter. I think it's cool. So, and you could do some really fun things. Even, I think I could even add some, gosh, I could even add some of my gold play in there. Or I was thinking even that spring botanicals, I could add some little elements into that. I think it's really fun. I'm loving it. Okay, I wasn't sure how good it would turn out, as always, because I'm never knowing how good these are turning out. But I think that the whole vibe of that is, I'm happy with how it turned out. I'm gonna grab one of my dry brushes from my gosh, from my, what is it, the gold play collection, and maybe see how it works in there. You could do some cool things. Okay, hey Mervin, super happy. Thank you so much for dropping into my stream. I've been having fun with this. I'm getting into the whole live stream. It's been a lot of fun. It's funny. Sometimes I still get a bit nervous, like when I know people are watching, but it's good for me to challenge myself every day and to make like a, to force myself to make something every day. It's been really good for my creativity. So I could do some things. I don't know, add some gold accents. But thank you so much for dropping in, and thank you, Mehmet. Very Christmassy, right? It could be very, it's very like the color scheme reminds me of, I love colorful, but it kind of reminds me of Skyla design. She has always has these beautiful neutrals, and everything is so um, so elegant, so understated, so soft, which me, I have like a million different styles. I don't have like one particular style. I just love like just trying new things all the time. It's just I could never like just work in like pastels or just work in whatever. I want like all the colors, all the different things. So what else? I think I'm gonna leave it with that today. I did a 1 hour stream. I was gonna planning to do a what do you call it? Like a half an hour stream, but whatever, it's good. And also don't forget, let me just show you really quick. So today I mainly used my multicolor color blending brushes, which use the pattern stamp technique. And again, if you're not familiar with this, I have a link down below. And even you can download some of these brushes for free on Adobe Creative Cloud. And I'm just going to show you though, because I have to get in touch with them because they have the wrong sampler here on this post. So, but if you go down, these are the brushes that you can get for free on Adobe Creative Cloud. So you can get all of these brushes, but you need to use this library here, not the one at the top. That's for my Instapressionist, which is a totally different collection. So you guys can try out this technique for yourself with these brushes here. And I also have some pastelish ones that I did for with Adobe. So those are for free. And oh, T. Fulmore, oh, you're driving now. Okay, well, drive safely, please. And hopefully I'm trying live streams at different times. So just wanted to let you guys know, if you're not familiar with this technique, that you can get some of these brushes here. And I'm working on a mega freebie pack for my website in my abundance of spare time. Not really. And yeah, I showed let's see, Rhoda's thing from yesterday for the embroidery. So thanks to everyone for sticking with me and watching along, and hopefully you got an idea or two. Sometimes you can just get some ideas from like stock photos, like this totally was gorgeous, and it gave me the idea and I didn't have to like think of it myself. So I love it. And don't forget, you can sample the colors directly from the images. And I will be attaching my demo files to this, and also the demo files from like the last 4. I've been promising my last 4 live streams. It's just trying to keep up as like a solopreneur has been a lot, but I'm so happy. I've really been enjoying this practice of like pushing myself to do a tutorial every day and come up with something, trying to be something a little clever or something interesting or something that's, to get your creative juices going. So that's me logging off. In case you're still there, Mehmet, I'm glad that I got to see you. And maybe we should do, uh, I was thinking of playing around with, a lot of people are playing with AI, and maybe Mehmet can do a demo with us of like how we could use it, but also to to serve within our artistic, process and stuff rather than replace it. I think that there's some cool possibilities there. Yeah, right? Mid-Journey stream collab. Oh my gosh. Well, you don't have to show your face if you don't want to. You can just show your screen. We could do that because you're a little more expert on that than me. But yeah, like for me, I was playing around with Mid-Journey a little bit, and I got a little bit like I got tired of just trying to think of a prompt, or think of which words to put together to like create the thing that I want. But I think there could be some really cool possibilities for like color sampling or creating some textures that we can then use within our creations and illustrations or something. Voice shy, oh, but your English is like so perfect on chat anyway. But we'll see what we could do. I'm gonna try to get some of my Slack compatriots. Maybe we can do like some what do you call it? Some on-screen collabs or something like that. I think it would be fun. Yeah. Okay, well that's me bouncing off and thanks for catching the stream and I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow. What is tomorrow? Wednesday, Thursday. I'm trying to tell you which time the stream is, but I can't right now and I don't want to expose my email address like I did before. Oh gosh. Thursday, I got Thursday and Friday. I want to say it is at mm-mm-mm. I don't know. I'll post it on my status update and it's in my newsletter, but I can't really think of what time I'm streaming tomorrow. I want to say it's 3:30 on Friday. Tomorrow, gosh, maybe I'll do 4:30 tomorrow. I don't know. Anyway, um, and yeah, okay, that's me out. You guys have a good day. I'm exhausted. I'm gonna go do all my other million things that I need to do and try to come up with something smart for tomorrow. So I'll see you then.